So we get to see fucking Grey after all this time, and holy shit, has he got a huge transformation that has happened throughout this little year. So I kind of have something I want to get off my chest, mainly to do with the last chapter, and it's mainly a slight of an apology to you guys. I know a lot of you guys really kind of disagreed with me in the comment section about like that chapter, last week's chapter about Natsu one-shotting Blue Note Stick. I think I let probably my eagerness and probably a little bit my overhypeness say, yeah, Blue Note, let's go. And I think I kind of got a little bit more upset and I was butthurt. I will plainly say that to you guys. I was plainly butthurt about that, and I got really ticked off with that chapter. And I didn't really look over the facts that this was great development for Natsu, showing how powerful he is, and now that he's actually got more power now to actually take on something like the Acnologia. So, I mean, I always say I'm 100% real with you guys. So, yeah, I am sorry. That doesn't mean I still want to see more Blue Note. I was still taking that to my grave, but yeah, I was a little bit too eager and a little bit, overhyped for Blue Notes. Should have really realized that, yeah, Natsu's gotten really strong over this past little time skip, and should have realized that he would have got fucking swamped immediately. So now we got that all in chest, we can all be friendly and friends again and go straight into this chapter. And holy shit, getting to meet Julia straight away in this chapter, seeing the Rainfall Village, and we see like just how like fucking heady intensely the rainfall is, and it's like nobody lives here anymore. Like they just pretty much straight up got rid of this area. And I like how Natsu and like having the rest of the gang were just making fun. It's like, hey, look at this half, it's like rain and stuff. And like they were doing a bunch of like stupid shit, and it was like, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty funny to see these guys. And when we saw Julia there, she originally thought that they were like Grey. It's like, oh, Grey-sama, I kind of get back, and it's like, no, it's us. And it's like, yo, what's up, Julia? And she finally sees like the gang, and she just passes out just because of like a really bad fever that she's been getting, and finding out that, she used to live with Grey. They also, all alone. It's like, I like how she was just saying, yeah, we trained together, we ate together, worked together, like even tried to sleep together, although she just kept kicking me out, which I kind of did like that. It seems like these two had a lot of development, that they pretty much for most of I think it was about 6 months that they were together, that they were training and doing everything together. And she find out like one day is that Grey just had this dark marking all over his arm and like going up to his face, and it's like, what the hell's that? And he's like, don't worry. Now obviously this is probably a side effect during to getting his father's power, like the demon powers, and I'm guessing this is what's transforming him like what his father did. And this is going to try and turn him into like a half demon now. So when we see him at the end of this chapter, because Natsu and gang are like, please, like, we're going to do everything we can to bring back, the Grey. And like, I felt really bad that Julia saying, this is where me and Grey and Julia had such happy times. It's like, I want to like go back to those times. And Natsu's like, we'll definitely bring him back and bring the guild back together. So that was really nice to see. And when we saw Grey, he just was a completely different character, and it's like with this new kind of Dark Guild that's going around since like the end of Dark Guilds have ended, and now begins the Avatar era. So this is probably what the arc is now going to be called. Now it's probably going to be called the Avatar arc, and we get to see like a few of the members of the Avatar Guild. We get to see like this priest Arlok, and they're like huge Zereth worshippers, and they're like, yes, all is to be done for Zereth, all is to be done for Zereth. And when we see that, we see Grey drastically changed. Like his hair is all sleek, and like he's got the entire at first it kind of looks, his design looks a lot familiar to Cobra, apart from the whole big massive demonic like markings he's got going around his arm. He looks fucking sick now. I hope like Grey keeps this transformation. So it's gonna be interesting to see like that this has been eaten away from him, the darkness, and we already knew that Grey was going a lot more of a darker route after the end of the Taurus arc, especially after what happened with his father. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to be doing about it, and very curious to see like why Natsu is actually going to be going to Sabretooth first. That's one thing I was kind of interested about, and saying, hey, Sabretooth's around here, let's look for him. So obviously they must have some information about this, since like Natsu probably like maybe think they know something. So that's going to be curious to see what Sabretooth's going to be actually all up about. And it's like next chapter seems like it's just going to be playing called like Sabretooth. So I'm interested to see what the Sabretooth guild's been up to. I'm really looking forward to what exactly like these guys can bring out. I mean, all the characters look pretty awesome. Like some of them look pretty beastly. Like And also as well that they got Gray as one of their leading members, so that's going to be interesting. If these, I doubt these guys are going to be like the next Taras, but I will say for the most part they look pretty beastly. They look pretty beastly and awesome. There's a few like weird ones there, but it's like Gray looks awesome. He looks very menacing, and it just really asked what prompted the huge change. Was it just like he's there trying to get inside information on like Zeref after everything he did with his father? Is he like just accepting the dark powers now of what he got from his father? It's a lot of things going on. I think it made this a little bit both. Maybe he wanted to get some information, and maybe he thinks like if he actually has to join a dark guild to get stronger, to get to the point where he could actually kill Zeref to revenge his father, then maybe, or maybe he's just completely lost it and is going to have to take up to Natsu to like beat him to smithereens. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's the fight that I've actually wanted to see, like these two going absolutely serious and go absolutely apeshit in. So I think it's about time we had to settle this big old rivalry from him. But I think, like, to deal with this guild, we're going to have to need Urza. I honestly think we're either going to need Julia back to 100% to help them, or we're going to need Urza. I honestly think we're going to need Urza to take down some of these members, because I honestly don't think, oh, well, we can't determine how far Natsu's gotten. We still need to determine like where the strength is, and unless really Wendy and Lucy has like made that much of a change, because we've seen Lucy with a new celestial dress, but Wendy, we didn't really get to see her showcase some power. She's got the Dragon Force, but on that, I really enjoyed this chapter. I thought this is a great one, big shocking reveal about like Gray becoming like one of the Dark Guild members, and like beginning now finally this Avatar arc. So overall, I'm gonna give this one like an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. This was a really great chapter. Pretty shocking to find that out, and very curious to see what's gonna be happening with like the rest of this arc. I think this is gonna be a real great turn now for the fairy tale, since, you know, a few of the chapters that we had were a little bit you know, they're alright, you know, they're okay from the time skip, but we've only had like 3 or 4 chapters into the time skip, so I'm really excited to see what's going to be happening now. But so for me, so thank you so much for watching as always, and remember guys, I'll see you next time.